Today we come to witness one of us, Sister Damaris, making her final decision to follow Christ in the life she has chosen. Sister Damaris has decided to live this life. She has tested the life and she's ready to follow the life. Every day of her life. It is like marriage. When we get married, the sacrament of marriage, that commitment is total. Commitment is the final step that we take. Ours is to pray for sister. In the readings today, from the book of Exodus, we read the history of chosen people of God. The chosen people of God had a very hard time dealing with the other nations, dealing with itself, and dealing with God. But they had to take a decision. What we read is a very small bit of the history of the chosen people. Moses is called to fulfill a certain mission in his life. He was working. He had been a slave in another country and looking after sheep, and he experienced something unusual, that he saw a bush burning but not consumed. And he was curious, like all of us would be curious, to go and see what is happening. And then he approached there and he was stopped to come nearer. A voice from that fire burning. It had a message for him. Don't come nearer. But that was the beginning that Moses met God. What does that say to us? It's a vocation for all of us. We meet God in things that are not quite explainable, things that we may not understand. If you ask these, say, married people, the ladies, our mothers, our sisters, our fathers, how they met their sweetheart, it could be different ways. But God comes in and decides. And ours is to cooperate. But we have the freedom to say no. But if we say no, because God is in charge and He knows He's the driver, it can be difficult. Moses, when he met that fire burning, it's not consuming anything, but there's fire. He couldn't understand. Then he approached what was burning, and he was told, stop there, you cannot come any nearer. But given a message. That was the beginning of his vocation. He had to undergo so many things before he became who he is today. Moses, we cannot go through that. But our life is like that. God is leading us, but we must trust. Moses trusted. There's fire burning. Fire is dangerous. Vocation is also dangerous. Don't think it's that easy. People think, I'm going to become a sister, holy sister wearing a veil and praying like this. Ask the priest, starting with me and others, a vocation. You are told not to do this or that and that and that. And you say, how is that possible? It is possible with God. That is what Moses was told. And it was just the beginning. He underwent, if you read his whole story, he came to a rock after that when he was leading the people away. And they were thus, and they were nearly to kill Moses. They complained, we have no water. You have brought us from where we were eating, at least even though we were slaves. They were slaves in Africa. And at least we had something to eat. Why did you bring us out of that place? And Moses also was crying, how can I feed these people? Did I bring them forward? But God was still with him. What was he told? He was told, you have a stick. Go to that rock. Knock on the rock. And you know, where can you get water from? Do you go to a stone and get water there? Answer me. Am I talking to myself? You don't get water. You get water from the wall here. You will be wondering, how is this? You can get water from the ground, all right? But water from the rock. And Moses was told to do that. He hit the rock, water came. That was long after the first miracle that he had undergone. What does that say? We must trust in God in every vocation, in every way, whatever we do, we trust in God. Provided it's not evil. When you go to the other side, you are taking the wrong direction. But we believe through the sacraments, through what sisters gone through, it's a vocation, a special vocation to divert from what is normally, what we call normal way of getting married, getting a family. We say, no, I want to serve God in this particular way because God is in charge of all of us. And he calls each one in his own way. Sisters have been called to follow him. And it's not going to be easy. It's not easy for the sisters, even for Madam Mkuu wa hapa hapana. Those who are preparing, don't think it's just nice walking, and those who are priests can tell you the same. The vocation is different. We might think, I'm going to get married, have a family, have no challenges. You are deceiving yourself. Ask our mothers there. Life is not easy, wherever you are. What does that say? It says we must trust in God. We do our best and leave the other to God. We might find a rock on our way, and then we are not able to say, where do I get water? What is next now? Moses gave us the answer. Everything is possible. To get water from a rock and feed his people. That encourages us in every vocation that we are in. You might have challenges in your married life. Of course there are. There must be challenges, small or great. Give them to God. Surrender them to God. And he will open the way. Sister has tested the life of the sisters here. And I'm sure it's not easy. And she said, yes, I'm taking the step. Her alone, she can't survive. Everybody without God will not survive. It will be difficult, but when we surrender to God, everything becomes possible and easy. In this first reading, when Moses was busy looking after his father-in-law cattle, he met this instance that changed his life. He was given a mission to fulfill. His people, the Israelites, were all of that taken in Egypt as slaves to work for people and so forth. And Moses was the person to tell them, to lead them away from there. The chosen people. God's chosen people were slaves. If God's people were slaves, who are we not to accept the challenges in life? He gives an answer. He says, let us continue trusting God even more and more and more. Never say the other side is there is greener life in the other side. No way. God has given us that grace to persevere in the vocation. If you are married, stay put. Your husband will be beating you every night, but pray also for him to change his life. That is religious vocation. In the gospel today, John tells us, if you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love. If you keep, that's conditional. If you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love. It does not say your life is going to be easy. No way. If Jesus himself came and underwent the most difficult way of life, ending up being killed, and not ordinary killing, Jesus would have been killed by me cutting his head. But that he died on the cross, that you can imagine, you cannot. You hear scratching somewhere or something, you can't do it. Your hands are tied, and not tied, they are nailed to the wood. Your feet, you feel like even if a bee stings you, you can't do it. If a fly comes to your eye, you can't do it. That is a life Jesus showed us, and he never complained. Life is not easy, married, religious, whatever it is. And who says it's going to be easy? Nobody. What is it to do? Persevere. Provided you are not doing something evil, persevere. Utulie hapo hapo tu, na Mungu atakubariki. Sister, you are choosing your life. Now you are happy, they will make a cake for you maybe tonight, and if we are all good, we might taste that cake today, and then tomorrow you are told, take a few days and go and rest, come back. After 3 years, you will be given others. That is life with the difficulties. There is no easy life in this world. Choose and stay put. Choose and stay put. Yes, this is the marriage of sister today to the congregation, and we pray for her that she has taken that step, and we pray that she stays there. The parents of sister, maybe they will go and ngojea wapate kalubu na mbuzi fulani so that they can get something from sister. But that is something very little, very small. Each person has his own life to take care of. First, you must take care of yourself, take care of your family. If you are a parent, take care of whatever you are given to do. Sister is mature enough now. Parents have handed over to the sister to be married to the church. She has a husband now. Don't disturb her. Now, Jesus says, you did not choose me. No, I chose you. He's telling everybody that, whether married or whatever, God chooses you where you are, provided it's normal way of life. Yes, that is why you are chosen to stay. All you need to do is pray, 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 pray. Without prayer, nothing good will come your way. Problems come our way. We surrender them to Jesus, and He's able to take us out. Today, our sister says yes. She gets married to the church. We pray and ask God to continually give you that grace that you have chosen. And on the other hand, it is very beautiful life, by the way. Don't think it is not. It is very nice. Ask the sisters. They are happy. And I presume these are also looking forward. Life in the sisterhood is good. Life in the religious life is good. I'm not saying attacking family life, no. It has all challenges. If it's family life, if you are a man and you are married, and you hear your children looking for this, or your wife looking for this, or your husband telling you to do impossible things, and so forth, that is also life. Wherever you are, pray for the grace to stay put, to stay where you are. We pray today for sister that what she has chosen, she may remain in the grace of God and in obedience to the congregations demands or regulations. And sister, you will be very happy. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo.